Hello, in this video we're going to show you how to search your transaction history. So first place to go to is the transactions tab. So we've had to load, here we go. So we've only got one in our history as we're doing this on a test account, and it's our nice failed transaction there. But if you did want to check, if you've got more than one account, where you would do that, I'll show you on advanced filters, you would just toggle the different accounts that you want under this tab here, but we'll come back to this. Anyway, so we're looking on our test account, we're looking at this transaction here. I'll go through more of the descriptions of the traffic light system in another video. On this one, I'm just going to show you the different ways to search for transactions. So 3 months of transaction history are shown on the transaction tab. So you can set the time frames here. So I'm just looking at this week, we can look at last 3 months, etc. And then you just hit the filter transactions. Other ways to filter, you look at actions, so different types of transactions, sorry. So if you're just looking for refunds, you would just select refund and untick everything else. Just looking for ones that were taken on your e-commerce merchant account, just tick that, untick everything else, etc. Other thing to note, so it states if you wanted to look at ones only that were rejected for some reason or declined, for example, untoggle, just clicking there and then just tick the rejected or reversed or whichever you're looking for. And the last bit on advanced filters is you can search through if you've got any of the numbers from the transaction. So if you've got that unique cross-reference from the transaction, you can search that way. If you put an order description on it, you can search that way. So you can search for text or numbers, and the system will find it. Even just amount, say you knew you had a bunch of customers you wanted to check their payments went through and they were all £15 transactions. Just chuck 15 in there and it will find you all of those from the last from whatever time period you set on up here. Yeah, and then I'll just very briefly show you the transaction details that show up. I think they're all pretty self-explanatory. You've got type, so if it was a sale, if it was a refund, etc. You've got currency, what currency it was taken in, so they're always in shorthand, so if it was euro, it'd be EUR, if it's dollars, American ones, it'd be in USD, etc. Amount received, so obviously if you're going to request 1 penny from your customer, but they didn't have the money in their account, or it got declined for some other reason, like an invalid card number that we've had here, you're going to get 0 pence. So that just shows you there. Payment details, that's going to show you just a little bit of the card details, just stores them if you wanted to rerun it, for example. Customer, so we're not getting anything here because we didn't fill in the customer name or the customer email. So if you did want those there, just chuck them on the transaction when you're doing it, or make it available for them on the pay button, but we'll go through that in another video. Other thing to note is with transactions, because you've got the transaction history, you can do actions on these ones. So this one didn't complete, so we don't have a refund here. But if it had been accepted and had completed, refund would come up here, and you'd be able to refund that customer straight from there rather than doing a separate refund on there. Yeah, and you can also see here, so if you wanted to rerun the sale, you click on that action list, rerun, and it fills in the cross-reference for you here. And then it just fills in everything here and tries to get everything that you put in from the previous transaction. But we'll just go back to the transactions tab for a moment. What else to show you? Oh yeah, unique reference or order description. So on the virtual terminal and on the pay button, you can fill these in and they'll just show up there. So it's another way to search and another way just to recognize your transactions. Last thing to show you on the transactions tab is the transaction reports. So you can get summaries, you can download reports, and these can be in most formats. You've got Excel, got Word. If you've got Xero, you can chuck a Xero one on there if you've got that integrated. Yeah, so you can get lots of different ways to report, lots of different ways to track your payments, and make sure you know what's going through your terminal.